Yeah. Gentlemen, you ready? Y'all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, here we go. In our agenda today, we had Mesa Verde Country up first, but we'll bring up the city of Cortez with Drew Sanders. You guys ready?
Feels weird to be back.
Kind of know your way around, don't you?
Yeah, I couldn't come in the back anymore.
All right, who we got? All right, what do you have for us today?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thanks for indulging us and allowing us to come speak to you this afternoon. Drew Sanders, City Manager, City of Cortez, Rick Smith, our General Services Director, and we'd like to recognize Mayor Medina, who's here to support us as well. Really, this is kind of short and sweet. As you may have read in the paper, we have signed a lease agreement, a 50-year lease agreement, to take over our broadband system. And as part of that, the company is planning to build out to the entire city, all buildings within the city of Cortez. And then people will be allowed to sign up for that service should they desire. So as part of this deal also, the city of Cortez negotiated where we would be able to use our existing fiber to all of our buildings and at no cost. And then Vero Clear Networks would maintain that over that 50-year period. But as part of that, we also felt strongly that we should do our best to take care of our closest government partner, i.e. the Montezuma County, and we negotiated the same deal for you. So you now will have, in the future, no cost fiber, well, very low cost. So let me just kind of give you some figures here. Currently, for the broadband services, you're paying $20,823.84 a year. Now, $3,700 of that, $3,720, is actually for the wireless or redundant system you guys have, and Jim can explain a little more of that if you're interested. But that's going to have to stay. That's a separate system than the fiber. But for the fiber portion now, you're paying $17,103.84 a year. We are going to cut that down significantly. It'll be in the $2,000-ish range, if not even lower than that, by the time we work it all out. But just a preliminary analysis of that, so just assuming $15,000 a year over 50 years, that's $750,000 you've now saved. And we know that those costs will go up over that time. So we just wanted to share that with you. Thank you for being such good government partners. We and the council feels very strongly that we want to maintain very good relations, and we're doing everything we can to show, not only talk about it, but demonstrate it. And we feel this is a good step in that direction.
And we sure appreciate you guys coming in and letting us know. I was at your meeting the other night when you signed that lease agreement, or voted to anyway. And I think this is a really good deal. Whenever you can reduce costs this much, it's good for everybody.
Yeah, and what's good for you is good for us. So,
Thank you, guys.
If I might add, March billing went through, and we plan on this all happening, the effective date, April 1st.
Okay.
Just to clarify.
Okay. Sounds good.
okay. Well, thank you, Commissioners, for indulging us. We appreciate you getting us on the agenda, and that's all we have pending your questions.
Thank
You
you
bet.
guys for doing that.
You bet.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. And punch.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Mesa Verde Country here. Anybody heard from Mesa Verde Country?
Zoom in. We sent them a Zoom link. Is Mesa Verde Country out there?
I think that might be our turn. So this is the Ute Mountain Ute grocery store project. I think Brian was spinning that up for us.
Okay.
That's, yeah, we have Brian Bartlett's name right up here, so go ahead.
Bernadette, do you want to start?
Sure. Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is Bernadette Cuthair with Planning and Development with Ute Mountain Tribe. So we're happy to bring this presentation to the Commissioners and the community. We're working on a Ute Mountain Ute Market grocery store.
Uh-oh.
So I will just dive into the presentation. I have Horrocks is our selected consultants for the project. So I have Heather McDaniels and Kate Kowalski with me today. So we'll go over this as quickly as we can. So in that, I will begin the presentation. If you want to bring that up, Heather.
Yeah, I have it up. Can someone allow me to share my screen? Do I need permission to do that?
Travis is working on that as we speak. And the IT guy left.
Oh.
Stayed here until we needed him and he left.
It's amazing how patient we've become with each other with technology.
Yes, it is. We'll get 3 or 4 helping here in a minute.
Sounds good. I think the key number is 5. Ah, there we go.
My apologies, I am not technologically competent with that stuff.
That's okay. You did well. We've got control of your screens now. Just what you want to hear. All right, Bernadette, I think, can you guys all see the presentation popping up?
We've got you.
Okay. Bernadette, take the screen.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. Ute Mountain Ute Market. So that is our first slide, and
I got you.
we'll continue on to the next slide. Our project team, Heather McDaniels, Kate Kowalski, Brian Cole, Bailey Anderson, Kristen Cooper, Hillary Fulton, Courtney Wallace. And also encompassing as well is our steering committee is Chairman Manuel Hart, myself, Bernadette Cuthair, Patrick Littlebear, Rick Shear, General Manager for the Ute Mountain Casino, Katrina Bancroft, and all the asterisks are tribal members within our community. Silverton House Whitehorse, Kaya Whiteskunk, Dan Clark, Velma Mills, Leandra Collins Jr., Tina Begay, Brian Barrett, Beverly Santacola, Doug Mize Jr., Jim Melvin, Chris Lopez, Laura Lewis Marciano. Those are our steering committee members. So I'd like to go to the next slide with the acknowledgements from the Ute Mountain Ute Council, the Ute Mountain Community, Region 9 Economic Development District, U.S. Department of Agriculture, Colorado Health Foundations, Economic Development Administration, First Nations Development Institute, Gates Foundation, Investment Fund, Harrison and Francis Foundation, Colorado Housing and Finance Authority, Senator Hickenlooper and Senator Bennett, So these are people that have been good partners to the Ute Mountain Tribe in this particular project. Also, they are funding sources for us as well. So the history and the overview of this particular project is that the goal is transforming a shared vision of health into reality by developing a grocery store which provides healthy, affordable, convenient, culturally relevant, and fresh foods. The grocery store should serve as a community gathering place and increase economic opportunities for the Ute Mountain Tribe. At this time, I will go ahead and turn it over to Heather.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to meet you guys. I'm Heather McDaniel, the project manager for this project with the Ute Mountain Ute Tribe. I'm with Horrocks Engineers. So the project started in about 2012. Between 2012 and 2017, there were some studies that indicated that the tribe needed some accessible groceries or access to food closer to Toyoak. I think that was highlighted specifically during 2020 when COVID hit and tribal Access Tribal was locked down. What has proceeded since then was brief market studies. We've done comprehensive market studies on what it would take to have a sustainable grocery store in that area. We've done feasibility studies, mostly site feasibility studies. We are working on value chain coordination feasibility studies now, and then community engagement. So we've held some community engagement in October of 19, some in September of 22, and then one in January of 22. And we're about ready to embark on our biggest community engagement series starting on Wednesday of this week, and we'll get to that in a minute, and I'm hoping every single one of you show up. Where we're going, though, is the business plan. So once we get through the community engagement this week, and we've really got the site layout locked down, then we'll start to build out that business plan. It's a little backwards. Normally we start with the business plan and then we start to do what we're doing, but there's a reason why the series is slightly backwards. So business plan over the next 3 to 4 months, value chain feasibility study, that's investigating food value, food chains, supply chains, maybe that's artist change, and we'll get to that in a minute. Design and engineering. The design actually will start here in the middle to end of March with the projected build out date of mid-spring of next year. With the community engagement still continuing again this week into May and into August. May and August will be operational community engagement versus site layout and design community engagement. I'm going to advance us to the community engagement aspects. We've got quite the series going on. We have the meeting with you today, and then we'll have the tribal council update. That's actually tomorrow morning. That needs to change. Artist venues. So we're looking at adding some vendor stations for the market. This one is actually in 2 phases. So phase 1. And I'll show you the 2 phases here in a moment. The phase 1 is to bring a market immediately to the tribe. And again, I'll show you what that looks like. But phase 2 is actually a full-blown build-out market, which would then leave these units open for small business incubation and then also vendors. So we're going to be talking to some artists and vendors in the area this coming week to see what they would like to offer. We could start to get our arms wrapped around the kind of merchandise that they would bring into the market itself. The big community engagement is March 8th at 5:30 at the casino. We'll be going through a presentation. We're going through lots of feedback sessions, voting on the kinds of food that they would like to see in the grocery store, the kinds of services, maybe events, how the market should function for the community. We also have an elder engagement on the 9th at 11 o'clock at the Elder Center. Then another community event on the 9th at 5:30 at the casino. That's more targeted. Those will be breakout sessions talking about workforce development, internship, apprenticeships, training, and then we'll be talking about art, culture, trying to figure out how we brand the grocery store to enhance the community and vice versa. And then also we'll be looking at community engagement at the community center at noon on March 9th. So lots of opportunities for all of you guys to come and participate. All right, let me show you what we're envisioning right now. So we've gone through a couple of public engagement series, and through all of that feedback from the community, we have come up with the following layout. So this is phase one, and it is comprised of shipping containers and really provides a local gathering area, produce area, meat market, bakery, coffee shop is currently what's envisioned. But this will kind of give you an idea of what that will look like. And as we get towards the end, it'll show you how the whole site will start to economically tie together and build a commercial center. So this is the current phase one design, and I'll show you that here in a minute, with office, restrooms, and cooler and refrigerating facilities. The entrance into the design. This is kind of the feel we're shooting for. Again, the patterns and colors and cultural aspects of this will change as we go through some of our targeted meetings on the 9th. And then also, we've been playing around with ideas of art contests for tribal members and locals and seeing how we can best leverage the tribal culture to really highlight what this market's going to do. Again, so one of the things that we are charged to do is investigating locally grown foods. So the tribe has also set aside fields that are adjacent to the market for local growth. So we've got hoop houses that have been identified. We've got fields. We've got water resources that have been identified. Now we're starting to think about what do we put in the ground? How do we train people? How do we build some kind of sustainable program around that? This is the entrance to the market, which is currently envisioned. How it feels inside the market. And this will be phase two, or what we envision right now is phase two. So you can see the phase one layout as envisioned here in the horseshoe shape. And then eventually this will be a covered Ute Mountain Ute history exhibit with the full-blown market in place. Eventually, there's a vision for future pottery. And then if you've ever been out to the Toyoak economic commercial area, the casino is just south of here. And then the RV park as well. So it'd blend really nicely into more of a cohesive unit. Currently, we have raised enough funds to complete phase one through the EDA, the Colorado Health Fund, USDA, the First Nations, Gates Foundation, Reinvestment Fund, and Harris and Francis Fund. We're now starting to think about phase two. We're looking at a $10 to $12 million lift, and we're talking to quite a few grants. So there's the Growing Justice Fund, Local Food Promotion, Farmers Market Promotion, the Gus Schumacher Nutrition Incentive Program, Regional Food Systems, and then also starting to explore new market tax credits and enterprise zone donations. So really starting to branch out how we get this thing built and paid for. Local support. So what we would like to see from you, one is you're out and about in different parts of the community, and we would love for you to feedback any kind of information on the growers, local ranchers that are willing to put produce into the grocery store. I think Bernadette conveyed to me as we started this program that she really wanted this market to be a local food economy, utilizing and supporting not just tribal, but the entire surrounding community so that it brings people together in a very cohesive way. And with that, we'd like your help in order to do that. So artisans, if you run across them, we would love connections with all of those people. Feedback on supply chains as you're out there doing your daily business. If there are food supply chains, vendor supply chains, maybe it's artisan supply chains, we'd love to know about those. And then also if there's funding as support out there, design and construction of phase two, that'll probably be about 2 to 3 years out, depending on how the fundraising goes. Hoop houses and training programs, teaching people how to grow local food, get it back out into the communities. And then also assistance or even just your time on helping us develop internships and apprenticeships programs. Bernadette, do you want to add anything to that? Oh, you're on mute. It's official. We're a meeting.
Okay. Here I am. So I think it's a really good opportunity for the Four Corners area, particularly Montezuma County, to be engaged in this project because after all, we're trying to pull resources together and build our connections to each other and really trying to help the community at large, not just Ute Mountain, but the surrounding area as well. So, I think it's all, spurred out of, I want to say, COVID and how we can get better about being healthy, being well. So I think that's something that the Ute Mountain Tribe is very interested in, is how we can be better partners. So,
Well, and it's always nice to have a slide about how you can help us. But here's what we think that the grocery store will do for the local community. And one, it establishes a local food economy. We want to make sure that a lot of the things that we are bringing into the market are locally grown and produced. It opens up a cultural link between the communities and peoples in the area, driving more cohesiveness. It also provides the community a gathering point for events. We're already starting to hear lots of feedback on the kinds of things that they would like to see in those open spaces. Not just the current events that the tribe offers now, but really to bring the communities together and in a more regular fashion. It drives economic development in the Four Corners region. Some of the things that are coming out of there culturally are really attractive and quite exciting on bringing in additional tourism. It provides locally grown food. If we can get the hoop houses and the fields producing to the level that we think they can produce, then that'll feed right back in, not just to the grocery store, but to the local community as well through farmers markets. And then it also supplies space for local vendors or small business entrepreneurs that would like a small, low cost place to build a business out of. And at that, we are open to questions, and we thank you so much for your time.
Gerald, do you have any questions?
No, I don't. I think it's a good project for them down there, and it'll be handy for them to have the store right there. That'll be great.
Yeah, I think so. Y'all might want to contact our folks at the Extension Office. They're just now getting their feet on the ground pretty well, but they would have local resources that they might be able to get you in touch with. Also, our health department, our health inspector, she might be able to give you more information along those lines also. And
Okay.
if there's anything else we can help you with, let us know.
Okay, sounds good. We sure appreciate your support and your time.
You bet.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you guys.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Now let me see if I can surrender your screen.
Thank you all. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Are we back?
We're back.
Okay.
ModBox backed out.
Okay.
So an emergency.
No ModBox. All right. Debris management plan discussion. Is there such a way to manage debris? We gonna put up signs the debris has to follow or something?
Right?
It doesn't work.
Yeah, well. All right, you hear me in Zoom land? Is this Zoom land or,
Yep.
okay.
Oh, no, it's YouTube land.
YouTube land, that's right. Well, good afternoon, commissioners.
How you doing
Good
today?
afternoon.
Doing wonderful. So, debris management plan. We actually had this sent to FEMA to sign, so it's pretty much approved by FEMA, except they do not sign these anymore. They just nod their head and said, yeah, it looks good, but they don't approve them anymore.
They didn't bring out the magic wand and,
Yeah, they just, no,
Oh.
no signature, but the magic wand was there.
okay.
So Mel already had this together, and it was in 2021. We were working on it in 2020, waiting for FEMA to do something. 2021, we found out that it's okay, and I don't know what happened. we thought it was signed, we thought it was there, and then we started digging around and found out that the board hadn't signed it yet. So we cleaned it up, made it a little easier to read. There was a couple of changes that we made, well, actually a lot of changes, fixed it a lot, and then sent it out, and Commissioner Candelaria found a couple companies in there that were no longer
Yeah.
in business, so we got rid of them, and we went back over it quite a few times. So the copy that I sent you is pretty much the one that we're going to get everybody to sign, and we just stick it in the emergency ops plan along with all the other annexes. It just gives us a little more guidance when we decide that we have debris management. Let's say G Road floods again and we're trying to remove that debris and there's no place to put it. So we've got a better plan now that calculates it, gives us the info, and all that has to be documented if we declare a disaster to get paid for it. So pretty much we have a plan, we know what we're doing. Rob called me today and he said he actually read it and everything's great. So he's going to sign it tomorrow when he comes in.
Okay.
And both Mel and I already signed it. So did you guys have a chance to kind of go over it? It's pretty basic.
Yeah. Do we separate out the debris at the time of the incident, or do we wait?
Yeah, it's kind of dictated in the plan that depending on the disaster and the debris, the landfill would probably send people that are qualified and pre-sort it before it goes.
Okay.
So, you know, you'll have depending on the debris, you'll have appliances, you know, that would go to belts. Wood would probably go to us for composting. It just depends. But it would be pre-sorted. The landfill would be the last place we'd send stuff.
Okay,
Yeah, like hazmat doesn't go there. We send it to someone else. So,
right.
and it's based on, I mean, after going to Florida and seeing the debris, I came back and looked at this and it fits it. It's really good because that's what we were trying to do out there, was to convince the public, separate your debris so we don't have to spend all day on the curb separating it, you know, if they have issues. So this pretty much covers anything major, wind shears, floods, whatever, any kind of debris we might have. So I thought it was really well done there,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you.
It looked good.
Yep.
Yeah,
So that's about it. We'll come in
Okay.
tomorrow and
okay.
hopefully get everybody's signature on it. We'll put it in the plan and I'll work on the next one.
Good.
Why don't you work on a plan about plans?
I know. It's already there.
Yeah.
We got an EOP. That's
Okay.
the plan among plans to look at all the other plans. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at least we're covering ourselves for funding. That's the big thing. So it's nothing that we haven't done. Or what we weren't going to do. I mean, this is something that we're going to do anyway. It just puts it in writing so people know this is the way we're going to do it, you know. So works pretty good.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Now, you want to stay put for the next part of this?
Yeah, I'll stay put for the next one.
Okay.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, see you, man.
Thanks, Mel.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Mel.
And the next one is the MOU between the board and Montezuma County School District, RE-1. And this MOU was signed by you guys 2021.
Yeah.
And we're
About
just-
a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
about
we're
this
just
time.
updating it with a new superintendent's signature. Nothing's changed. Ran it by Ian. He's happy with it. So it's just kind of just renewing it, making sure that we have the good signatures on there, ready to go.
Yeah,
We talked to Justin. He's okay with it. It's the same signature, same information that he had. So
Yeah, this was a discussion quite at length at one time.
yes, it was. Yeah. So this is just the same document with new signatures, pretty much.
Anything? I don't, I mean, it's,
I don't have any problem with it.
okay,
That's it, I think.
that's it?
See you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, anybody else have anything? I don't. We will adjourn the meeting then. How about that?